Alicia, Pippadot, welcome. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Where is everyone? It's Mike Stevens, Kandakara. Good evening, Mike. Welcome to tonight's trivia. My peeps, hello and welcome to tonight's trivia. Oh, it's Unsolved Mysteries, just like the TV show, Unsolved Mysteries. It's a little bit of everything, everything, and all of the questions come from season number 2 of Unsolved Mysteries. Kitty Coo, good evening, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Gonna give it to about 3 more minutes here, and about 2.5 minutes, and then we'll wait for everybody to get in here. Mandy Hall, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Mandy. Starfire, good evening. Well, thank you. Two more minutes, and then we'll get this party started. Labor Day weekend. Does everybody have any plans? Any plans for Labor Day? Just relaxing? Well, Labor Day weekend here in America, and I think in a couple other places around the world as well. You saw Duran Duran last night. Wow, that would have been exciting. Duran Duran. Did they do Rio? I always like the song Rio. My plan is stuck putting a starter in your car. Ooh, my plan, I'm stuck. Well, I hope it's not too difficult of a job to put the starter in. They're still alive. Yeah. I don't know how many of the original members are in, the band Duran Duran now. Mandy Hall, you used to like Duran Duran back in the 80s, I'm guessing? All right. Let's get this party started. All the questions tonight come from the complete second season of the TV show of Unsolved Mysteries, originally hosted by Robert Stack. Warning, viewer discretion is strongly advised. I need to tell you that everyone, I know it gets repetitive and people think it's pretty boring, But viewer discretion is advised for any content that is on my channel, this channel. And it's also viewer discretion advised that some of the content and photos that you may see on either this stream or in other videos and content that I put out may not be suitable for all people or for all ages. None of the content that I make is intended as entertainment for those under the age of 13. But there you go. Lemon Pie, good evening. Cement Shoes, Inner Peas, here we go. The crew's getting in here now. Boy, he looks different. All right, we are playing only for fun. No one is better than anyone at this game. You don't have to keep score. You don't have to do anything. Any hateful or degrading comments or remarks made towards another person playing the game will get you removed. 18 total questions, including the 2 bonus questions. These questions are not exploitative of victims or families. They are for educational purposes only. Relax, have fun, sit back, and enjoy the evening. First question is on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new here, you'll get the question and 4 possible answers. Who hosted the TV show Unsolved Mysteries in the 1990s? Was it A, Morgan Freeman, B, Robert Stack, C, Vince Gill, or D, Sean Carroll? Who hosted Unsolved Mysteries in the 1990s? Good evening, Gemma. Little bit of Sandra. Good evening, little bit of Sandra, and welcome to tonight's trivia. The very first question is on the screen. Bozo the Clown. Pat Sajak. Elvis Presley. All good possible answers. Bozo the Clown, one of the original Bozo the Clown. In case you don't know this, but Willard Scott, who was the weather anchor on Good Morning America, he was one of the original Ronald McDonald's, and he also was Bozo the Clown. Robert Stack is the correct answer for the first question, ladies and gentlemen. Robert Stack. Question number 2. Help me, help me. I just escaped from being murdered. He killed the nanny already. Help me. These mortal words were screamed so loudly on November 7th, 1974 by who? Was it A, Lord Fauntleroy's wife, B, Lord Haha's wife, C, Lord Lunken's wife, or D, Lord Snooty's wife? And my timer didn't start. That's why there we go. No idea. Alpha Fema. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Help me, help me. I just escaped being murdered. He killed the nanny already. Help me. These mortal words were screamed so loudly on November 7th, 1974 by the wife of who? Alicia. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. If I didn't say so earlier. I hope I didn't miss anybody in the chat. I wasn't looking up at the screen. I shared. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Whose wife screamed these mortal words on November 7th, 1974? Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. The Beach Boys, of course. Cement Shoes is going with C. Kitty Q, C as well. A little bit of Sandra is going with B. 3 minutes. Question number 2. November 7th, 1974. Even I'm too young to remember the Beach Boys. Lemon pie, I choose B because what a name. Lord Haha. the, the Beach Boys music lives on in infamy. Question number 2. 10 seconds. All right, the answer to question number 2 is C as in cat. Lord Lunken's wife. Lord Lunken disappeared after murdering the actual nanny and trying to kill his wife. It was never seen again. He disappeared, and that is why it was not only the murder, but the crime was unsolved. No one knows whatever happened with Lord Lunken after November 7th, 1974. Vanished, just disappeared, never to be seen again. No trace of him was ever discovered anywhere in the world. All right, question number 3. Was the book Picnic at Hanging Rock based on real life events? If you don't know it, it's about a bunch of schoolgirls who went missing in Australia. Is it A? Yes, it really happened. B, no, it's just a great story. C, partially made up by Jonah Lindsay. Or D, I made it up for a fourth choice here. Which one is it? Did the events at Picnic at Hanging Rock really happen? Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia. The book, that is the cover of the first edition of the book, Picnic at Hanging Rock. Oh, thank you, Interpedes, for putting the link up there. I appreciate it. Got some A's, some B's, C's. Nobody wants to guess D? Was the book Picnic at Hanging Rock based on real life events? Sal, oh my God, I love the Beach Boys. They had some classic hits, didn't they? Little Red Deuce Coupe. You don't know. Now I got the Beach Boys running through my head. Thanks. Question number 3. 50 seconds left. Get your answers in. It's B, fiction. Says a little bit of Sandra. Pet Sounds, great album. 30 seconds. Have their album Pet Sounds. I have it somewhere down here in my catalog. The entire bookcase is behind me. Both of the bottom shelves are nothing but record albums. I have it in there somewhere. All right. The, okay, the correct answer to question number 3 is B as in boy. It's just a great story. Although urban legend and myth and folklore around it, a lot of people actually believed that the events of that are in this book were real. And there have been folklore, and stories that have been told about this hanging rock, picnic at Hanging Rock, where these girls disappeared. And it's been kind of like, mothers tell their children, don't go out that, in that area alone. Make sure you're with your friends and be careful, because those girls disappeared at, at Hanging Rock in that area. So it's been like, a warning to, as, to young adults not to go out to that area alone. But it's completely made up. All right, question number 4. Believe it or not, ghost ships are still a thing that happen even in 2023. A ghost ship is a ship found with no one on board. What famous ghost ship turned up in the Straits of Gibraltar on the early morning hours of 1872? Was it A, the Mary Celeste, B, the Danbury, C, the Octavius, or D, the Mayflower? What ghost ship, turned up in the Straits of Gibraltar on the early morning hours of 1872? Well, that's cool, Interpeas. The Beach Boys grew up with your cousins. That's cool. Interpeas. The Titanic? Mike Stevens. I recall that morning. 1872. A world famous story. And ghost ships do turn up. Last year in the Bay of Miami and the Tampa area, they found, I think it was 21 ghost ships. They weren't big sailing vessels like this one, but they were ships that either they came off their offshore mooring, or they were tied up at a dock somewhere and the rope broke and the boat just floating around. And in the Everglades, they find the boats all the time that are partially sunk, especially after, hurricanes, or boats just floating around and nobody on board. But it happens in other parts of the world too. Ghost ships. The Love Boat. Believe it or not, ghost ships are a real thing, even in 2023. All right, question number 4. The correct answer is A as in apple, the Mary Celeste. The entire crew and captain and everyone was missing from the ship. There was no damage. There were food rations and whiskey, and everything else that needed to be on the ship was still there and untouched. They don't know what happened to the crew. It's just a mystery. the ship just kind of wandered into the port, because the tide was pushing it in. And no one knows to this day what happened to the captain and the crew of the Mary Celeste. Excuse me. All right, going on to question number 5. June 1984, a man with a strange obsession broke into the East Main Street Museum and could have stolen close to $50,000 in cash or priceless artwork. Instead, this man stole what? To this day, the museum is still not sure they have the original item back. Was it A, a hat once belonged to JFK, John F. Kennedy, the former president of the United States? B, a pair of gloves owned by former President Nixon? C, a used pair of socks worn by Edgar Allan Poe? Or D, a pair of pants worn by George Washington? June of 1984, a man with a strange obsession broke into the East Main Street Museum. What did he steal? Did they go through the Bermuda Triangle? Don't know. Don't know which direction the ship came from. I guess it was just out there at sea, and then until the way the tide pushed it into the shore. And they found nobody there, no signs of a struggle, nothing at all. Everything was exactly where it was supposed to be, as if everybody just boarded, got off the ship for some reason, and nobody knows what happened to them. They couldn't even keep up with JFK's brain. June 1984, a man with a very strange obsession broke into the East Main Street Museum. What did he steal? You went to kindergarten with George? I probably went to kindergarten and preschool with someone named George too. Don't remember. I think the earliest memory I have was probably 5 or 6, somewhere in there. I don't really have it, there's things that you think you remember because people have told you about them, but I don't really have any memories, before that though. Don't remember JFK ever wearing a hat in pics. I'm sure he probably owned a hat. I mean, when was the last time you saw Richard Nixon with a pair of gloves on? I don't know. A pair of pants by George Washington? I mean, I'm sure they're all things that are real. Mine was 7. Pippadot's going with C. The used socks sounds weirdest. Yeah, it definitely is out of all the ones on that list. I'll agree with that. I can remember when I was 2. Kitty, you can? Mike can remember when he was 7. It's funny. They say that most people, I think their first real development ability to remember things, I think it's at age 4 years old, right in there, 3 or 4, or 3.5, 4, is when you have the ability to form permanent memories. I'd have to look it up. I've got it in one of these psychology books here, probably in the neuroscience book. I can barely remember at the age of 4. Yeah, see? All right, question number 5. The correct answer for this question is C, as in cat. The man broke into the museum and it could have stolen paintings that were done by former presidents of the United States. Priceless artwork. He could have stolen $50,000 that was in a cash box in the office from the previous week, from the museum, because they just had like an open house the week before. and people had made large donations to the East Main Street Museum. He could have stolen all those things, but he stole a pair of socks that were once owned by Edgar Allan Poe. Now, the socks that they got back are very similar to the socks that, they had on display, but they do not, and to this day, they cannot confirm that those are the same socks. They could have been another period pair of socks that belonged to anyone else. But these ones were originally owned, and they had, lineage for the socks themselves that went from Edgar Allan Poe back through the family and then to the museum. Got a homemade piñata and a cake with the number 4 monkey candle on it. Oh, that's cool. A sock fetish, yeah. All right. And this isn't, by the way, this strange man with his obsession. This isn't the first time that he's been arrested for theft when it had to deal with socks. It wasn't his first arrest. So there's a pattern there. Question number 6. 4% of the world's population suffers from somnambulism. It wasn't until the year 1997 the science finally understood what caused it. What is it? Is it a desire to subscribe to 411 Now? And you should if you're not. B, excessive farting in your sleep. C, sleepwalking. Or D, falling asleep, waves crashing. We don't talk about making stuff out of dead people's skin today. We will. My family freaks out because I can tell them our house and layout and conversations that the adults had. Wow. My first memory is riding a little red wagon. A radio flyer? I had a radio flyer. You got to see. I don't know if you've been to the store lately. You got to see what they make radio flyers out of now. They're just cheap garbage. They're gonna definitely break. They never would have put up with the abuse that I put my radio flyer through. Oh hell no. E, the Jersey Shore. Inner peace. E, eating people. 2 minutes. Well, minute and 30 seconds, sorry. What is somnambulism? Somnambulism. Is it eating people? Sleepwalking? Farting? Falling asleep? Waves crashing? Or is it the desire to subscribe to 411 Now? Which one is it? Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 6. The correct answer is C, as in cat. Sleepwalking. It wasn't until 1997 that scientists finally figured out what causes sleepwalking. 1997. You think they would have come up with a definite answer what causes sleepwalking before then, but they didn't, because it's not just one thing. It can be a lot of different things, from everything from diet that adds to, why someone sleepwalks. It could be, a stress disorder. It can be a lot of different things, but it wasn't until 1997 that they found out that it actually is an imbalance of proteins in the brain. It's the first thing, and that can be triggered by stress, diet, and other things. It wasn't until then they finally figured out what actually causes somnambulism, or however that damn word is pronounced. All right, question number 7. Abraham Zapruder filmed the assassination of JFK in Dallas, Texas in 1963. Across the street stood a lady with a camera from the grassy knoll. What did the media name this unknown woman who has never come forward with her pictures? Yeah, up to a $200,000 reward was once offered for her to come forward just with the pictures that she had taken, and nobody came forward. Did they nickname her the Camera Woman, B, the Pomeroy Woman, C, the Woman in Pink or Lady in Pink, or D, the Bambuska Lady? What did the media nickname this lady? I had an A, and I'm not sure it was called that. Good evening, Purple. Welcome to tonight's trivia. My mom wore bambuskas. Babushka. Babushka. I like these teas. The peace tea, snowberry. These are good. I got a bunch of these from Costco delivered today. A little too sweet for my normal taste, but it's good. Guess they're made by the Coca-Cola company. Abraham Zapruder filmed the assassination of JFK in Dallas, Texas, 1963. Across the street stood a lady with a camera from the grassy knoll. What did the media name this unknown woman? What did they nickname her? 1963. An event that will go, should outlast everyone, and we should learn from it. Regardless if you believe in the conspiracy theories or not, those people that kill people in their sleep, crazy. Question number 7. Did they nickname her the Camera Woman, the Pomeroy Woman, the Woman in Pink or Lady in Pink, or the Babushka Lady? Question number 7. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer to question 7 is D as in dog. The Babushka Lady is what the media nicknamed this unknown woman. If she would have come forward with her photos, and she was seen in the foreground of the camera from in the film, and she was snapping several photographs of Kennedy and the detail as it came by, and the up to the point of the assassination. But the $200,000 reward could not get this woman to come forward with her photographs. Probably not alive anymore, but that's just saying the statistical odds. I mean, she was probably in her late 20s, early 30s then, in 1963, just by looking at the photographs and the age of her. But she never came forward, nor did anybody else. I don't think the reward is still out there, but it could have. No change. Thanks for asking. I hope your husband gets better soon, Purple. But no change is, I guess, is good at this point. At least he's not worse. Question number 8. On the early morning hours of December 1967, the Prime Minister of Australia vanished without a trace. Thousands of tips came in, searches were conducted. What do they believe now happened to him? Was it A, aliens, abducted by aliens? B, kidnapped by extremists? D, drowned at sea? Or D, ran away and started a new life? On the early morning hours of December 1967, the Prime Minister of Australia vanished without a trace. Thousands of tips came in, searches were conducted. What do they believe now happened to him? False memories, Kitty Coo. False memories. It happens all the time. People who are involved in are bystanders to a traumatic event can remember things that didn't happen. They can remember false memories, as in smells or sights or colors that weren't there. The mind is a wonderful mechanism, and in moments of severe trauma, it happens. There's stories about men who were in Vietnam who were pinned down in foxholes watching their buddies die, and all they could smell was pepperoni pizza. Doesn't mean that there was a pepperoni pizza in the jungles of Vietnam while they were pinned down watching their buddies die. It's the false memory that your mind automatically associates with the event. But it's letting you know it happens. It happens all the time. People have been in car accidents, and they swear that there were people there that helped them, out of the car. A law enforcement officer, with dark flowing hair who looked like Tom Selleck, and the only officer who was there was balder than a cue ball, and they're like, "Where's the other officer? What other officer?" It happens. People remember things falsely. And then you can also, that's really interesting in psychology, if you get two people together who experience or see a car accident, and then you get them to repeat it immediately right afterwards, the two statements are going to be completely different, because people remember, they see things through their own eyes, and they remember things differently. It happens. You've actually done that? Will, I hate the butterfly effect. Yeah. None. I believe Australian government killed him. Ooh, there's one. It's not an option, but I mean, it could have happened, my peeps. The Australian government got rid of him. Well, question number 8. The correct answer is actually C. They believe, after the Inquisition and everything else, and the research into it, they believe that he drowned at sea, because he was his name was Harold Holt. This is a picture of Harold Holt. They believe he drowned at sea because he loved to go for a swim, and he didn't always necessarily do it with anyone else. He loved to swim. but they believe he drowned at sea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will now take a 6-minute break. Do whatever you need to do. Use the facilities, get something to drink, smoke a bowl, do whatever you feel you need to do. You do you. We will be back in 6 minutes. Just keep your hands inside the ride at all times. Don't be a daredevil like Earl and Earl Jr. Back in 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Chuck Woolery from the dating game. No, that was Love Connection. Love Connection. Chuck Woolery back in 2 and 2. If you got them, smoke them if you got them. Okay, I'm going to getting a piece of cake. There you go. Piece of cake sounds good. I don't eat a lot of sweets though. Today I ordered from Costco. I got these peace teas. I got 16 of these all different flavors. I mean, I think are 4, 4, and 4, and 4. But I got 16 peace teas, and I bought croissants, already made cooked croissants. My son likes to eat croissants or puff pastries. He likes both of them. I thought it'd be a nice little treat. You know, I cut up a half of one in the morning with his breakfast, trying to get him to eat different things. So to get him out of that routine of wanting to eat the same thing every day. You don't eat sweets either? Yeah, it's a moment on the lips, a lifetime on my hips. But I've always mine is more medical. I've been always right at the line of like for diabetes. Diabetes runs in my family, or as my grandmother called it, the sugars runs in my family. So I always watch the intake of sweets. Me neither, but I just baked a chocolate cake. Ooh, chocolate cake sounds good though. It does. 3 minutes left. American Woman. Great name. Howdy from Texas. I don't believe I've been here on live chat, but in my older age, like a cookie with my coffee. There you go. Is that a American Woman? Is that like Guess Who? American Woman. Now I've got that song in my head. Get away from me, American Woman. Set you free. Either way, it's a great name. I don't eat cookies with my coffee. I used to, or a biscuit, but I just drink my coffee black now. Black like my soul, dark and dead. All right, minute and 30 seconds left, and then we'll be back. Lenny Kravitz. After you bake a cake, poke a hole in it with a straw while hot. Put a layer of icing, then let it cool. Then ice it. Ooh, I double tapped the pause button. Dismiss. All right, 1 minute left. $30. I intake it to my tummy. Intake, cake to your tummy, Sal, or coffee. I drink way too much coffee, but I like it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are back at it. Next question. Question number 9. What year was the term UFO first officially used by the U.S. government for the first time to explain what pilots have been seen in the sky for close to 40 plus years in the United States? Was it A, 1997, B, 1947, C, 1940, or D, 1990? What year did the United States government first officially start using the term UFO, unidentified flying object? That's what UFO stands for. Unidentified flying object. What year? Yeah, I got coffee. There you go. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah. B, and B, 1947 so far. Oh my God, I said B, but our government might be A, 1997. Never know. We'll find out here in just a little bit. What year was the term UFO first officially used by the U.S. government? Kitty cute, sticking with B. Paul Vato presents. Good evening, Paul, and welcome. Welcome to tonight's trivia in repeat 1999. All right, the correct answer to question number 9 is, in fact, B as in boy. 1947 is when the United States government first officially used the term UFO, unidentified flying object. Before then, they used different terminology to actually list what the object that people were reporting in the skies. Even though UFO had been used in science fiction for close to 25 years before that, the United States government was slow to, well, do anything. As we know, it wasn't until the year 2023 that we finally had congressional hearings on UAPs and UFOs. 2023. But they've been tracking it all along. They just didn't want to tell you about it. Alrighty, question number 10. The top 4 places in the United States with the most unexplained UFO or UAP reports are Los Angeles, California, Boston, Massachusetts, Jersey City, New Jersey, and Miami, Florida. Where is the number 1 spot in the world, though? Is it A, Stockholm, Germany, B, Northern Ireland, C, Cape Town, South Africa, or D, the Antarctic? Where is the number 1 place in the world to spot a UFO? And this was actually covered twice on season 2 of Unsolved Mysteries. 2 times they covered different variations of reports of people who spotted them and people who actually, worked there or saw them all the time at this location. Silicon Valley. Paul going with C. Kittiku going with D. Cement shoes A. Starfire D. Silicon Valley. There are a lot of strange things in Silicon Valley. I'll give you that one. American Woman going with Antarctica. American Woman, Antarctica. I can't sing. I shouldn't give up my day job for it either. I said D because least amount of people for the government to deny. Yeah. I don't know. There's a permanent settlement in Antarctica, and you can actually go there as a tourist. I just watched a documentary on people who go there to do skydiving, and they have like tents and buildings, hard shell buildings that are there, and they have an all blue landing strip, ice landing strip in Antarctica for tourists to go there to go skydiving. Not everyone goes there for skydiving. Some people go there for snowshoeing and and hiking on ice, because that's pretty much what Antarctica is all year round, just ice. Still looks beautiful. I mean, it must be weird to skydive, out of an airplane and look, and everything as far as you can see, in every direction is just white. Why though? Right? Sounds awesome, but LOL. People were into these extreme sports, and there's enough people who've gone there. Apparently, Will Smith and a lot of other actors and A-list celebrities from Hollywood have taken these trips to Antarctica to go either snowshoeing, or hiking, skydiving. All right. The correct answer to question 10 is D, as in dog. In Antarctica, every year they have 200 to 250 sightings a year in just Antarctica. That is more than any of the places listed on there here, counting all the ones in the United States and the other locations around the world. Antarctica, 200 to 250 sightings a year. The aliens are probably wondering what the hell these people are doing out in the middle of an ice sheet themselves. Why are they there? We flew all the way from our galaxy to this, and there's people out here at minus 40 below zero. What do they think this is? Michigan? All right, question 11. Who is this murdered woman known as the Black Dahlia? What is her real name? She was murdered either January 13th or 14th, 1947. The killer has never been caught. Is her real name A, Janet Snow, B, Rebecca Snowlet, C, Rebecca Short, or D, Elizabeth Short? What is her real name? Even though it was 1947 when she was murdered, this case is still very well covered in lots of different media outlets. Movies, podcasts, videos on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You can't throw a rock at the internet and not find a place where this story has been covered in some capacity over the years. There was even a group on MySpace that talked about it. Little Will in the corner could be a little bit of Will. Paul is going with C. Levasandra D. Starfire D. Kitaku. It's meant shoes D. Pipadot going with D as well. I mean, they could walk in downtown Louisville at night, and if they really wanted a scary experience, right? Yeah, there are certain towns in America I wouldn't walk around at night. Right now, I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to walk around in most of Los Angeles at night. Who murdered the Black Dahlia? Wouldn't walk around in the daytime either. It's a good point, Lemon Pie. Yeah. I don't know which one's scarier, nighttime or daytime in some locations. Last time I went to San Francisco, I didn't know what I thought. I felt like I got dropped in another country. We were down at we went to go to Ripley's Believe It or Not museum in the Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco, and I really did. I felt like I got dropped into another country. Everywhere we went, people were panhandling, shooting up drugs. It was awful. Drinking in the middle of the daytime out in the open. They didn't care. And we're like, I can't be here with my kids. I don't know what the hell the police are doing in those locations around the world in these different cities, but they certainly ain't doing everything they can. Or maybe they're doing their job and they're handcuffed in other areas because no one will support them. Did you step on poo? No, I didn't. All right. Sorry. The correct answer to question 11 is D as in dog. Elizabeth Short. Now, I saw somebody said that I can't remember who it was, said that they believed that her husband did it. or another one, a surgeon. No, they have no idea. The case is unsolved as of right now, 2023. Who killed Elizabeth Short? Here is the evidence that they do have in the case. They have been very public about it. Sometime after Elizabeth Short was murdered, on the beach near a cliff, they found a pair of men's shoes, dress socks, a dress shirt was folded, neatly laid there next to the clothing with pants and everything else. So whoever it was, stripped absolutely naked. And there were even a pair of boxer shorts, men's boxer shorts were there. But inside of the shoe itself was a complete confession to killing her. That is what they have. Whoever it was that killed her, which they don't know, who actually killed her. If it was, maybe it was a surgeon, maybe it was her husband, but or someone, an ex-lover, whoever did it though, confessed to it and wrote the note and stuck it inside their shoe, inside I think it was the left shoe. So maybe the person was left-handed. We don't know. But there's a lot of theories out there about people who may have killed Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. The Black Dahlia, when her body was originally found, she was dismembered in half, ladies and gentlemen. The lady who originally spotted her alongside the roadway in a grassy area thought that it was a mannequin that somebody had discarded along the roadway. She didn't even think it was a real person at first. So the Black Dahlia. Through DNA. All right, question number 12. The truth is stranger than fiction. What happened to Canadian tourist Elisa Lam at the Cecil Hotel in January of 2013? If I had to just give a rough estimate, I would probably say 150 people have asked me to cover this story. But when I dug into it, the truth is definitely stranger than fiction. Was it A, an alien abduction? B, she killed herself? C, she was murdered? Or D, she was possessed by demons? Some of the evidence that you may believe that you've learned about this case is actually false. I should say that. There we go. Wait, it took us all the way to question 12 before we got the 144,000 now. There we go. One of the 144,000. She joined the cast of the Jersey Shore. Kitty Q's going with B. Sandra, B. Pippadot, B. I could never figure out what happened to her. I never believed the official ruling. Too much weird about this case. There are a lot of things about this case that were reported in the news and online that were, well, let's just say that they are extremely not factual. I don't want to say that the people who made this content were lying, but it was more that people were trying to guess at what the possible cause was of whatever happened to her. But if you go by the official records, which I'm going by, because that's what I have to let go by, is just the facts, the known facts and what they wrote down. I swear I watched her on camera looking like something was chasing her. Yeah. That you're talking about the camera that showed her in the elevator or in the hallway. It's a very strange case. It looked like she was going through some manic, psychotic episode. Yes, little bit of Sandra, you are correct in that. Truth is stranger than fiction. What happened to Canadian tourist Elisa Lam at the Cecil Hotel on January of 2013? And I'll tell you something about the hotel after this, though. I mean, after I tell you about this case. All right. The correct answer to question 12 is B as in boy. The official cause of death is suicide, is what is written down on her actual death certificate. She killed herself. Now, let's put the entire strange, bizarre behavior of what was seen on camera and everything else in context. She was escaping her parents, who were an overbearing family who wanted to keep her there with them close. They didn't want her to go on vacation, they didn't want her anywhere near where she was. She was diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenic tendencies. That is her actual medical diagnosis, is bipolar with schizophrenic tendencies. She was completely off of her medication. The actual autopsy report shows she had no drugs in her system at all. And when she went off of her medication before, when she was back home in Canada with her parents, she had behavior that was very similar to what is seen on the camera. Like she thought someone was chasing her, or she was arguing with somebody who was just off camera or not there. She was having paranoid, delusions of someone being there. The fact that she was found in the water tower on top of the Cecil Hotel, and people judged and said there's no way this little frail lady lifted a 20-pound lid and jumped into the water tank by herself and killed herself, is actually kind of false, because the lid itself is a 20-pound lid, but it does have a hydraulic lift arm on it, and it is opened occasionally to clean and to actually, sterilize the tank itself. This tank is made out of wood and metal, and that was where she was found. It wasn't until people started complaining that the water in the hotel, the Cecil Hotel, had a black discolored color to it, and that it had a funny smell and taste, is why they went up on the roof in the first place. The maintenance man did, and that is where they found Lisa Lamb's body floating in the tank itself. There was no bruising, no signs that anybody forced her up there and threw her into the tank. And if they did, that would have been a hell of a feat to climb that type of a ladder up on the tank. Why she thought to go there, it's hard to say, because again, she was having an episode, a manic episode. Some of the other things that have been reported about it is that she had a confrontation with someone in the lobby of the Cecil Hotel. Those reports, along with another reports of a man who may have followed her from while she was out walking the day before, are all false. There was no police reports ever filed to support any of that evidence at all. But Lisa Lamb's official cause of death was suicide by drowning. From the inside? No, but a gust of wind could have shut it from the outside. When if strong enough wind would have shut it for sure. I mean, but there's nothing to climb down on the inside. Even the maintenance department, the people who maintenance the water tank itself on the Cecil Hotel roof there, when they go up to maintenance it, they actually tether off with a rope and a climbing mechanism that helps them hoist themselves back up out of the tank when they get into it, because there's no rings that for climbing down on the inside of it. Now, that's it for Lisa Lam. Something else about the Cecil Hotel. Back in the 1950s and 60s, And going on into the 1970s, there used to be a little cafe that's still there to this day, but it's not the same cafe. But they used to have a pot on the actual counter of this little cafe where you could put in $1 and you could actually bet how many people were going to be thrown off of the roof or what floor of the actual Cecil Hotel within a 30-day period. So many people were thrown out of windows and off of the roof of the Cecil Hotel that the little cafe across the street used to take bets on how many people are going to get thrown out of the fourth floor this week or this month. The Cecil Hotel. Why anybody checks in there, I don't know. I mean, it's a cool looking building from the outside, but that's as far as I would ever go. All right, question number 13. September 29th, 1982 is a day a lot of people wish they could forget. After that day, there were close to a dozen copycats of the same incident across the United States. What happened that day? Was it A, racial murders of young black women? B, racial attacks on young Asian Americans? C, tampering of over-the-counter pain medication? Or D, the rich got richer and the poor got poorer? What happened on September 29th, 1982? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if Rich Ramirez stayed there at all. He is a freak in himself. Pause, cement shoes, and Starfire going in with C. And D, LOL. Rich got richer and the poor got poorer. I used to see a bumper sticker a lot when I was younger, a teenager, in the metropolitan Minneapolis area. That used to say, "Starving, eat the rich." I mean, a lot of cars. I don't know who was putting them on the cars, if people who owned it or were or not. But me and my friends used to skateboard, in the downtown Minneapolis metropolitan area. Little Alessandra is going with Tylenol K. C. E. My boyfriend dumped me. Oh, I'm sorry. Kitty Koo is going with C as well. Alicia is going with C? Question mark. I don't know. Maybe it's C. We will find out. September 29th, 1982. Question number 13. I think the little people from The Wizard of Oz stayed there also. They had to stay like 5 to 6 to a room because they were little. From the original Wizard of Oz, or maybe I'm thinking of no, I'm thinking of the Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Wizard of Oz. I'm sorry, I don't know proper term to use. I don't know. I don't know either, Kitty Q. I'm not all that politically correct. I try to be, but I don't understand a lot of things that for correctness in this day and age. Maybe they're vertically challenged. Well, is it Brad Williams, the comedian? How did he put it? Don't steal my term. I'm a little fucker and I know it. If you've never seen the stand-up comedy of Brad Williams, you've got to see his stand-up. He is funny as hell. He's brilliant. Yes, the original Wizard of Oz. Only 5 per room. Wow. All right, question number 13. The correct answer is C as in cat. Yes, this was the Tylenol case of tampering, arsenic found in Tylenol. And there were so many copycats that happened over the years. There was one man who they believed actually did it, but all the other ones that they either had idea of who did it. It was either a parent trying to kill their kids, or it was someone trying to get notoriety from doing it. But it happened. The debut of Jersey Shore. He's fun size, Paul says. Yeah, that was his last stand-up comic special. I think it was on Netflix. Fun size. Brad Williams. I'm guessing Paul has definitely seen his stand-up. I think he's absolutely brilliant. All right, question 14. It doesn't matter what else happened on September 7th, 1996, because this senseless act changed the world and ushered in a time of silence and mourning unlike any other. What took place on this date? Was it A, Tupac Shakur was killed? B, the Yankees lost a doubleheader? C, the LA Raiders signed Brian Bosworth? Or D, Suge Knight ate just one chicken? I have seen and I've hung out with Brad in Vegas, maybe like 4 years ago. Oh, that's cool. I haven't had the opportunity to meet him. That would be cool though. He seems like a really nice guy too. I've seen interviews with him, when he besides his comedy. Smith Shoes, Kitty Alicia, Starfire, Paul are all going with A, September 6th, 7th, 1996. What happened on that day? I mean, all of those are really tragic events. Tom Jones took the stage. And women threw underwear at him. Little Alessandra going with B. The Yankees lost a doubleheader. The Yankees absolutely sucked this year, by the way. I think they're in dead last in their division. September 7th, 1996. This senseless act changed the world and ushered in a time of silence and mourning, unlike any other. All right, question number 14. The correct answer is A as in apple. Tupac was murdered on this date, September 7th, 1996. Question number 15. What is the name of the highly classified Air Force base in Arizona desert that may have crash remains from Roswell, New Mexico UFO? Is it A, Area 51. B, which mountain? C, Gar Mountain. Or D, Watcher Air Force Base. What is the name of the highly classified Air Force base in the Arizona desert that may have the crash remains of from Roswell, New Mexico? Hmm. I saw Tom Jones perform in Vegas. The underwear have gotten a lot bigger and way older. I never got to see Tom Jones. Um, I got to see Wayne Newton. My grandmother used to be. She used to work in the ticket office for the shows at Circus, and it didn't have to be just the shows at Circus. You know, she could get tickets for any of the shows in Vegas. They knew each other. You know, ticket office people to ticket office. It's like, hey, if I can get you over here to go see this show, we'll pick you up, drive you over there, and bring you back so you can lose all your money and your home and everything else in the casino. Because the casino pays for all that. But I saw Wayne Newton there. Saw some magic shows. Um, David Copperfield. Um, saw that street guy too. Can't remember what his name is though. Angel, Chris Angel. Everybody's going with the Grand Canyon. Inner peace. The Grand Canyon is where that is hidden on an Air Force base in Arizona. This was around 2005. I went with some Mad TV folks. Wayne Newton is still going strong. At least he was a few years ago. Wow, Mad TV. Wow, I missed that show. I missed that and in Living Color with the Wayans brothers. You know, and um, I'm drawing a blank on what his name is now. Oh, well, I was thinking of David Blaine. Mad TV. Mad Magazine is still great, is it? I haven't seen a Mad. I haven't seen a magazine stand in a long time. I think the only place. I mean, whenever I'm at the store now, the only magazines they have are like cooking magazines or sports or MMA magazines. I don't see too many other magazines anymore. I mean, you'd have probably have, at least in my area, you'd probably have to go to a bookstore like Barnes and Noble. Yeah, we have Barnes and Noble here, but in Living Color, yeah, I missed that show. All right, question number 15. The correct answer is A as in apple. Area 51. Jim Carrey was on In Living Color. Yes. He's not the one I was trying to think of though. On In Living Color, there's the Wayans brothers, and I'm trying to remember the other guy's name. It escapes me right now though. A lot of people used to think that he was one of the Wayans brothers, but he wasn't. All right, question number 16. This once thriving culture of people vanished in the span of just a generation. What do scientists believe happened to the people that lived on Rapa Nui Island? Was it A, alien abduction? B, they all moved to Mexico? C, they killed themselves? Or D, they died off from starvation? What happened to the people who lived on Rapa Nui Island? Barry paid a visit. Barry Morphew. Barry freaking Morphew. Sal's going with A, alien abduction. Ooh-wee, ooh. That's a show that I used to like to watch, was the X-Files. The truth is out there. Dang, I was busy just now tuning in. Callie Lisa. Jamie Foxx, thank you, Kitty Coo. I was like, I could picture him, but I couldn't remember what his name was. I'm like, it's just this one of those senior moments where things just go by. But Callie Lisa, welcome. You can watch the rest of it and rewind. That's always an option. My phone is dying right now. Sorry, I have to go. Well, bye, Pippadot. You have a terrific week ahead. And thank you for being here with us tonight. You stay safe out there. Don't forget, early trivia question for next week is posted tomorrow on Monday on the community tab on my channel. The once thriving culture of people vanished in a span of just a generation. What do scientists believe happened to the people that lived on Rapa Nui Island? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D as in dog. They believe that they died off from starvation because they used up all of the natural resources that were once found in abundance on the island itself. And they had overfished the area offshore. So even then, that one resource that once was in plentiful amounts is gone. In case you're wondering, the Rapa Nui Island is also known as Easter Island. And those are the statues that are found on Easter Island. All right, bonus question. Sir Edmund Hillary is believed to have died descending Mount Everest in Nepal. However, some of his gear turned up in a pawn shop in Arizona. How it got there is a mystery. How many other hikers are frozen in time on Mount Everest with Sir Edmund Hillary? Is it A, 100 hikers and 100 Sherpas? Sherpa is a guide, is somebody who helps these hikers get up and down from the mountain. That's what a Sherpa is. Is it B, 200 hikers and 125 Sherpas? C, 300 hikers and 100 Sherpas? Or D, 400 hikers and 400 Sherpas? Easter Island is on my bucket list to visit someday, is it? There ain't much there except for rocks and those statues. But I could see that being very interesting to go see, though, to see them up close. I don't really have a bucket list of places that I'd like to go to. Here in about 10 days from now, my wife, my mother-in-law, my son, my daughter, my nephew, who else is going? I think that's it. No, there's got to be 6. I'm missing someone. Probably one of my nieces or something. But they're all flying to West Virginia. They're going to the Mothman Festival. I hope it's A, Grizzly, if it's any higher. Says submit shoes. We got A, B, A. Sir Edmund Hillary, world famous hiker and mountaineer, is frozen in time on somewhere on top of Mount Everest. With how many more? Yeah, they've never been to the Mothman Festival before, but they all decided that's what they wanted to do. Instead of going to Ireland and Scotland this year, they decided that they're going to West Virginia to the Mothman Festival. All right, cool. The bonus question. The correct answer is A as in apple. There are over 100 hikers, they believe. They didn't keep exact totals of it, but they believe that there is 100 hikers and 100 dead Sherpas that are on Mount Everest right now. So 200 people, along with Sir Edmund Hillary, are frozen in time on Mount Everest. Now, the last known message was from Sir Edmund Hillary was when they got to the top of the mountain, of Mount Everest, he was going to place a picture of his wife at the top of the mountain. That photograph was never found. But in Arizona at a pawn shop, they a man came in and pawned them, and never returned to receive them from pawn. But some of the gear, this is really old hiking gear, but it was all had Sir Edmund Hillary's name or initials on it. And they've never been able to find Sir Edmund Hillary's remains. They believe they found his Sherpa, but they're frozen in time, so it's kind of hard to say that's definitely was his Sherpa, his guide who was helping him down the mountain from his descent. But how did his items end up from Nepal all the way back to the United States in a pawn shop in Arizona? And it wasn't like this stuff could just be faked, like somebody just took a Sharpie marker and wrote his name on this gear. The name was actually sewn into the labels or the label on it or in the clothing itself or on the gear. And it was these were items that were made directly for his mountaineering expedition to Everest. They don't know the person who pawned the stuff never came back for it, so we'll never find out how it ever got there. But I believe all the stuff was after the pawn shop wanted to get rid of it. I think it's in a museum somewhere in Arizona now, but I don't know. It could be in private, collection somewhere. Excuse me. All right, next question. A bonus question, but a mystery all the same. And a simple one. Why were the previews on DVDs and VHSs, full-length movies you'd buy or rent to watch at home, called trailers when they played before the actual movie? Do you understand the question there? So you buy a DVD or a VHS and you put it into your DVD or VHS player. Why did they call the previews before then? Why did they originally call them trailers? Yes, years later, the format died and they changed it to coming attractions. Was it A? It was a mistake to call those little clips of upcoming movies and stuff, trailers, or was it B? They were at the end but nobody watched them. C, Mountain Lions made them do it, or was it D? Only Warner Brother Pictures called them that. Why were the previews before an actual movie on VHS and DVD called a trailer if they ran before the main feature attraction? Machu Picchu, Great Wall of China, the Taj Mahal, and more. Those are all great places to visit. I'd agree with all those. I'd like to see the Taj Mahal. A giant, was it the palace? I think they call it a palace that nobody has ever lived in. The Taj Mahal. Why were the previews before the actual main feature on a VHS and DVD called the trailer if they ran before the actual feature? Why were they? We got B's and C's. QTQ. Little bit of Sandra with a B. Starfire B. QTQ B. Kind of Lisa B. The big shoes are going with C. Mountain lions made them do it. Mountain lions. Gotta watch out for those pesky mountain lions. All right, question bonus question. The correct answer is B as in boy. They were kept at the end of the movie. The main feature used to just have like the logo, the intro, the production companies, the distribution companies for a movie, and then the movie would start. But they had the trailers at the end, but nobody would watch the movie. And as soon as somebody was done watching the movie, they'd either rewind it in the situation of a VHS, and they would never watch the trailers. So they moved the trailers to the beginning before the actual movie, but they never changed the name. And it was called they were called trailers, but they were at the beginning. So everybody just said, well, they're kind of like previews. Well, they weren't. They are previews, but they were actually called trailers. They just moved them to the beginning because nobody had ever watched them at the end. So that is why they on DVDs and VHS tapes they were called trailers. And then later on they changed it to coming attractions. Hi, oh, we're done, Sprinkle Donut, but you can always watch this in rewind. How well did you do on tonight's trivia? Did you get A? Give yourself a letter grade. It's completely optional. You don't have to do this. Did you get 12 to 16 right? Could have guessed better. Did you get 8 to 11? Not bad. Improvement though. C, 4 to 7 of them correct. Just here for the chat and drinks. D, 1 to 3, you fell asleep. Or was it E, you got, I don't know, some correct. Mountain lion, but never a cougar. Again, keep in mind it's completely optional if you wish to grade yourself. Some people like to do that, but you don't have to. We are just here for the fun and for the knowledge of it all. I didn't copy cement shoes today, so E. There you go. Questions in the trivia are from my research from the past TV shows and names. Unsolved Mystery is not trademarked. The font and imaging of Robert Stack are, though, trademarked and copyrighted, owned along with the sounds of the intro and images are all trademarked and copyrighted. But the name Unsolved Mysteries is not copyrighted by anyone. It is in the fair use. So too bad to everybody who wants to, complain about, well, you can't have that called Unsolved Mysteries. And let the comment section start. Good night, a little bit of Sandra, and thank you for being here with us. I hope you have a terrific week ahead, a little bit of Sandra. And thank you. Next week's trivia is back to an individual. All the trivia questions are about an actual individual in itself. Where the last couple were, well, last one, this one particularly, was about no one at all. They were just different ideas. I'm still laughing at whoever complained about the fly. Oh, it was more than one. Cement shoes. We finally ended up blocking them all. I think I ended up blocking more people over the stupid fly, me killing a fly, and the comments that they kept up. We deleted the comments off of the actual live stream. Then they came back and they said, "Hey, I can't find my comment again. Why are you, oppressing us?" And they went from there, and it got even worse. So I ended up blocking more people in this past over that last week's trivia than I have done in the previous like 3 years. I wish I was joking about that, but I knew it. It's just as soon as I said it, and it was like I was like foretelling the future. It's like I know people are going to complain about that. You killed a harmless fly. I didn't even kill it on camera. That fly was annoying as hell, though. So today is the 3rd, September 3rd. All right. From the analogs of serial killer calendar, this day in killer history, September 3rd is John Williams Cooper, born the 3rd of September 1944, is a serial killer with diagnosed psychopath from Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire. On the 26th of May 2011, he was given 4 life sentences for the 1985 double murder of brother and sister Richard and Helen Thomas, and in 1989 double murder of Peter and Gwenna Dixon. Serial killer calendar. Thank you again for telling me about that book, Kitty Q. I didn't mind squashing spiders, and someone compared me to a serial killer. Yeah, you gotta love the internet, though. There are people out there with opinions on. It's like if you said, this is a yellow highlighter marker, there would be people out there that will complain that that is not yellow, that that is actually green, that it's a neon green marker, even though on the highlighter itself it says Sharpie yellow highlighter. It says yellow, not green. But the people would complain about that. And then there, like the situation with the fly or whatever, people are going to pick the opposite just to be, contrary. And then there are the people who are going to stand, and fight for, the most ridiculous things out there. And they're everywhere. But they're part of the internet just like everything else. You take the good with the bad. You have to. Some people aren't happy unless there's something to bitch about. Yeah, that's absolutely true. If that fly was buzzing around in their room, they'd have smashed it too. That's true. No, it isn't, Will. It's chartreuse. Ants have gotten bigger, and I noticed. I can't stand ants, and I can't stand flies. Can't stand either one. Oh my God, people are freaking crazy, aren't they? They are. But at the same time, there's much more positive, out there on the internet than there is negative. You just have to find like a group, like all the people who are here in the chat tonight. I mean, I don't know what I would do without you guys. I look forward to you guys all being here on Sundays to play trivia with me, and I really mean that. And it's something special to me that I have got a community that wants to come and play along with these, crazy, trivia questions. I mean, who else is doing trivia like this? I don't know of anybody, and I enjoy it. This is my relaxation. I mean, it might take some time to put the stuff all together, but this is my relaxation. So after this, I I have to go back in the house and I have to get my son's clothes and everything ready for the school week, and find out what extra special things he has going on, this week, and get the wife prepared for the week. So it's like my week starts right after this, but I'm getting prepared. and then it's right back at the, the swing of it all. But this is my time to relax, and I like it. I don't believe I got bumped off. I look forward to this all week. So do I. I really do. I don't swim in the ocean, kitty kill, and the sharks. I love trivia. So this trivia night, you might be watching me on one of these, venues. Maybe you're watching it on YouTube. I'm guessing a large majority of you are. On Twitch right now, there's 7 people who were I don't know. I haven't clicked on it. I closed the tab, but there were 7 that were watching on Twitch. Twitter, I don't know how many people actively watch. I just only get the report of how many people click on the link itself. Um, on Facebook, it's the same thing. Facebook don't pay me nothing. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of Facebook. Dumpster fire. If it wasn't for some way to keep in contact with family members that live across the world from me, I would never use Facebook again. If there was something else out there, but X and Facebook and a lot of these things, it's like, why? Why do I even bother? Ocean's not my home, LOL. It's theirs. The little sharkies. YouTube bumped you off. Oh, sorry about that, my peeps. It happens though. You hate Facebook. I am not a big fan of it, and there was a time and a place for it when it first started off, until they changed their algorithm or whatever. It just seems like every time I tune into Facebook, it's like it's a dumpster fire. Here's all the conspiracy theories. They just throw conspiracy theories at me, or the opposite view of my political views, or here's like some people saying some really off the wall hateful things to a certain section of of society. Why do I want to see that? Why can't I just like cut all that crap out and just see what my friends are doing? But I can't. You gotta wade through 5 million different things. They want to sell you different things. And hey, have you thought about the new boner pill? Have you thought about the new medication that's going to cure everything that's wrong with you? You got to wade through all that and all the other crap that's on there before you actually find anything from your friends or family. But my wife says I'm a grumpy old man, so that might be true. As long as you stay off my lawn, you're okay. You deleted Facebook a year ago. I'm sick of changing names, Meta and X. Why did he do that? Why would you change Twitter to X? Why? Okay. But Mary Frederick, hi Mary. We are done with the trivia for tonight, sweetheart. But you can definitely watch it and rewind. Bring back MySpace. Oliver, MySpace, I believe, is still out there, isn't it? Didn't they get sold off to Yahoo? I thought that they were still out there. But they're just a shell of who they used to be. Or maybe they closed it down. I mean, it's kind of like Vine. Vine was, I liked Vine, short little tiny videos. I liked those. But Vine, they couldn't find a way to advertise on it and make money. So they're gone. Justin Timberlake bought it, did he? Well, good luck with that, Justin Timberlake. Anonymous, good evening. Hey, Will and chat, long time no see. Long time no see too, Anonymous. Tom from MySpace. Man, we're going back some years there, aren't we? Tom, I think Tom was everyone's friend at some point, wasn't he? Or was it in their top 10 or whatever on MySpace? Tom? I got a four-hour timeout on Facebook. Uh-oh, Oliver. Yeah, you did it now. They're coming for you, Tom. And Tom's coming for you too, Oliver. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up here. I want to thank everyone again for stopping in and playing trivia tonight. And for those who just now stopped in, to play trivia, you can watch it and rewind on my YouTube channel after this. And just like all the other past episodes, there's a whole entire list of just all the different trivias that you can click on and watch and binge watch them all if you want to. But we will be back again next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to play trivia again. If you just tuning in and you like the trivia tonight, Monday mornings by 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I post a trivia question on YouTube where you get the question and it gives you an idea of what the subject matter is going to be about the following Sunday, and you can answer the question, participate, see if you know the answer, but it gives you an idea of what the next Sunday is going to be about. But again, everyone, thank you. I hope that you all have a terrific week ahead and stay safe out there. And happy Labor Day tomorrow for everybody, to everyone. Relax, put your feet up if you can. Have yourself a good cooler 16-ouncer. Just relax. Just remember, keep your hands and your arms inside the ride at all times. Don't be a daredevil like Earl Jr. He's a daredevil, just like his old man. Bye, everyone.